Hi guys, I welcome you in this wonderful video. You can see on my screen I have a very beautiful chart, and if you can look closely you can see that this looks like a range, because if I can extend my let me start with my support. If I can draw it and extend it, you can see that it touches both lows, and if I can draw my resistance there, you can see it fits very well. So we have our high and we have our low. So what traders will do is that they will start looking for buying opportunities as selling opportunities as price approaches our resistance, and then they will start looking for buying opportunities as price approaches our support. So this approach, there is something very dangerous about this approach. I think I highlighted it on my previous video. You don't have to be looking for both opportunities in a particular range. You don't have to be looking for both sells and buys. Why? Because a range, firstly, before you can trade a range, you need to know and understand what a range indicates, because a range is more like an indicator. Now, the thing that it tells you is that, firstly, it tells you that a major reversal is about to occur. So if you see a market, let's say it was moving in a downtrend initially, and then you see it entering in a range, it means that this range indicates that it is likely that a major reversal is gonna occur anytime soon. A range also tells you that the initial player, in this case, which is the sellers in this minor example, the initial player, which is the sellers, it means that they are getting weaker or they are getting defeated. And then the next thing that a range indicates is that it indicates that a breakout is going to happen anytime. Because if you see a market in a range, it doesn't mean that it's going to stay inside this range forever. It means that a breakout is going to occur sooner or later. So it should be something that we are ready for. So you as a trader betting on both sides, or buying on the low and selling on the highest point, it means that you position yourself in a place where you are likely gonna suffer a breakout. You are likely gonna suffer a breakout because you don't follow the rules of strength. For an example, let's say here in this case, you can see that initially the market was moving down, and if you start to focus on buying and selling at the same time, it means that you ignore the fact that the sellers, they are getting weak. So let me just show you something that will really get your interest. So we can see on a higher time frame, if I go on a higher time frame, you can see that now our range shrinks. Our range shrinks, and the only thing that we can see is that the market was just moving on a downtrend. And then there is something interesting that happened here, is that we have a low, we have these two lows, and the beautiful thing about these two lows is that the recent one is not lower than the previous one, which is something very amazing, because it tells you that the sellers, they are now getting weaker and the buyers, they are getting stronger. Because if let me just put again our support level. So if the sellers were still stronger, they were gonna give us a low that is lower than that previous one, just as they did with these lows compared. So because we don't have a low that is lower than that previous one, it means that the sellers, they are weaker. So you as a trader, if you're gonna be saying that I'm gonna be selling when price approaches that level, it means that you ignore what these two waves have already told you. These two waves have already told you that, hey, be careful when it comes to selling, because these sellers, they are getting weaker. Why? Because they failed to give us an impulsive wave that is bigger, or at least at the same size as the previous one. So you as a trader trying to sell here, you are ignoring everything that this price action told you. You claim to be a price action trader, but you are ignoring the fact that these lows, they indicate that the sellers, they are weaker, and the buyers, they are likely to conquer or to be the dominant side in this area. So what you should do as a trader is that you should wait for buyers to give you a clear sign that they are indeed defeating the sellers, because this is just a backlid. The range is a sign of a backlid, that okay, we are likely to draw conclusions in this backlid. We are either gonna see the buyers conquering, or we are gonna see the sellers bouncing back. So what you should do is that as long as price is above these lows here, you should avoid taking the side of the sellers. Now, you should avoid taking the side of the sellers. As long as it is above this area, it means that still you should bet on the side of the buyers, because it is the buyers that are now opposing the sellers. So you should avoid making selling decisions until you see lower lows being formed. Now, so what you should do here is just to wait for at least a low to be higher than this previous one. So let's say the price moves and then it comes back up and then moves all the way up. Then this is an advantage to you. However, again, you should treat this high the same way as you treat these lows here. So you should wait for the buyers to convince you that they can push above that high. So as long as they can't push above that high, you should as well wait, even if you see a low that is higher than the previous one. But for the fact that the buyers couldn't break that high, you should wait again. So it's a signal that, okay, wait. So if you see the price then breaking that high and then maybe giving you a new low, then that's when you should make buying decisions. So I hope this is making sense. Don't just act when you see a range. Make sure that you wait and try to understand where the range came from. Try to understand which side is dominating, and then try to make decisions in favor of that side. Don't make decision on both sides. Don't sell high and buy low. There will be a point where a breakout comes and it will find you acting exactly the opposite, and then it's gonna deal with you. So make sure that you save yourself and only focus on the side that is promising in terms of strength. Let me just leave it here, guys, without making this long. So thank you for watching this video.